The Spectacular Now by James Ponsall, starring Miles Teller and Shailene Woodley. This movie is my favorite movie. I'm a sucker for a good high school coming of age movie. There was a time where that was the only kind of movie I wanted to make. When I was in high school, I was actively finding moments in my life that I could turn into movies. So when I stumbled across this movie and it was just a teenager, not just having this budding, blossoming romance with this girl, but he was on a journey to find out how to love himself. A lot of people, or a lot of the internet, had claimed that this movie was one of those movies where nothing really happens, when honestly, after watching it like a dozen times, so much happens. Our protagonist Sutter is so obsessed with the idea of now, of being in the now, being in the present, not really thinking about the future, not really thinking about his life after high school until he meets Amy, and he starts maybe I can show her a good time, I can invite her to things, I can whatever. They fall in love, or what they both think is love, and when she gets accepted into a college and she wants to bring him along, it's kind of like, all right, how much of now can I really only think about if I really want to be with this girl? I felt like the story is framed in such a subtle way, and the way that their friendship and relationship goes, I think, is just paced so well and so realistically well. It's written by the same writers that wrote 500 Days of Summer and The Fault in Our Stars. Scott Neuseder and Michael Weber. Yeah, I mean, I do have the book. I prefer the movie. I think what they took from the book into the screenplay is a perfect amount. I think there's a lot of people that prefer books over movies. I think sometimes the amount of cutting that takes from a book to the screen, I think is pretty worth it. Especially for this, I think they took a lot of the extra stuff out that I don't want to say that I didn't enjoy, but the amount of care that James Ponsall put into this movie of shooting in Athens, Georgia, shooting it on film, having minimal makeup, having very regular wardrobe. There's a dozen scenes in this movie that are all one take, which I think is due to it being an independent movie, but also I think serves the story so well, and that's the type of vibe that I want my movies to have, where it is very just conversational, it's very natural, you're kind of just watching the actors play. And I love every supporting character. He has an ex-girlfriend, he has his mom, he has his teacher, I think is one of my favorite characters in this. He's only there for 3 scenes. There's a scene with Bob Odenkirk near the end of this movie. He plays Sutter's boss. It's what the movie is really all about, I feel about Sutter's growth and how he needs to stop committing so hard to be this guy that he doesn't need to be. And not to spoil it, but it has a bittersweet ending. I love when it's not soul crushing, this is awful, why would they do that, but it's also not tied up in a bow for the audience. I love the way that they ended this film. It's very ambiguous, and it kind of just lets you sit with all the events that have happened, and you kind of just get to ponder the idea of what does happen after this? What would I do after this? It's such a good movie. It's such a good movie, and I love it, and it means a lot to me. I rewatched it last night. So if you ever get a chance to, and you like teen romance, YA novel, coming of age movies, with the understanding that the protagonist is not going to be the most likable guy, that's what this movie is.